This is presented on behalf of Dr. John Ikerimioka, the Nigeria Student Ambassador and Principal Consultant for AI in HR at the British School of Outdoor Education. I am here to lead your transformation and help you prepare your readiness for AI in your HR role. In this session, we are going to cover what is happening in HR AI adoption, what AI readiness mean, and what it looks like practically. Let us discuss how AI has been used in HR, going back 24 months. In 2023, most HR professionals use it ad hoc, and many are uncertain about quality and risks. This was the dominance of the generative AI tools. And in 2024, AI-powered HR tools became more common. HRN used AI at process and at practice level. In 2025, more sophisticated tools, including agentic approaches, drive teams to rethink how HR operates. So, in 2026 and beyond, organizations invest at scale. AI skills are become a currency across the board. As you know, AI skills are showing up across core HR roles. Firstly, recruiting and talent acquisition roles increasingly reference AI skills. Secondly, learning and development roles are expected to enable AI capability. Thirdly, HR operations and analytics roles are asked to translate data into decisions. And lastly, risk and governance expectations are rising alongside adoption. In the previous slide, we talked about how AI skills are showing up across core HR roles. Now, let us discuss the most requested AI skills in HR job postings. In the use of artificial intelligence, you have applications for automating resume screening, conducting initial candidate assessments, providing self-service through chatbots. In machine learning, you have applications for predictive analytics for employee retention, identifying high-potential candidates, optimizing compensation benchmarking, and for text retrieval systems, you applications for searching candidate databases efficiently, analyzing employee feedback patterns, and lastly, retrieving relevant policy information quickly. In this slide, we will be looking at the AI Readiness Radar for HR. Let us first look at the diagnostic view across the 5 interconnected pillars: skills, strategy, governance, people, and technology. Based on research with 334 HR teams, the AI Readiness Radar helps diagnose current readiness and focus improvement efforts. You can click on the link underneath me to read more on the research. So where HR team are today? 30% of HR teams have a clear purpose, expected value, and relevant use cases for AI within HR. And 65% of HR teams see benefits and value, and actively support AI adoption. Whilst 29% of HR teams are confident they have the data and tools to support AI at scale, 35% of HR teams are confident they have the right skills, exposure, and development opportunities to integrate AI into daily work. I want you to ponder, what has been the biggest challenge for your team in getting value out of AI? Is it A, knowing why and where we should be using AI? B, understanding and managing the risks? C, implementing AI tools and technologies in our tech landscape? D, getting leadership buy-in and investment? And E, building AI skills within the team? In the previous 2 slides, you saw what AI readiness meant for HR, and you also saw the 5 interconnected pillars in the following slide. And these pillars are strategy, technology, governance, people, and skills. Now, we are going to use a scenario of 2 hour leaders to help understand these concepts. Let me break down the scenario. Both leaders are under pressure to leverage AI to show value and increase efficiency in HR. They both understand that AI can elevate their operational support. However, their approaches are different. Leader A sees the importance struggles to create the right focus. And leader B creates focus intentionally and builds readiness. In the next slide, we will explore the pillars in more detail and then determine the best approach for the leaders. Starting with the first pillar, which is strategy. And by strategy we mean aligning AI initiatives with business goals, so as to turn adoption into measurable value rather than isolated projects. So then, what does readiness look like? A shared and explicit purpose for AI in HR. Clear success metrics linked to outcomes, decision quality, efficiency, experience. A small number of prioritized, high-value AI use cases. Alignment between HR, business leaders, and IT. And then, in your action list, you would demonstrate moving from experimentation to intentional design, meaning picking one real initiative and redesign it intentionally with AI. Stop new AI experiments until you've chosen 2 to 3 priorities. Document one agreed AI use case, owner, outcome, review date, before moving forward. Now let us compare the two leaders. Leader A moves fast with multiple pilots but lacks a clear purpose. Initiatives aren't tied to business priorities, and success metrics are vague. When results are mixed, confidence drops because impact isn't clear. Whilst Leader B gets it right, clarifies why AI matters and links it to strategic priorities, focuses on a few high-value use cases and defines measurable outcomes upfront. Credibility grows because direction is explicit. The second pillar is governance. This is where you establish trust and accountability through clear policies, ethical standards, and cross-functional oversight. Now, what readiness looks like under governance. Here you have clear, accessible AI policies tailored to HR use cases. Defined risk processes for assessment, escalation, and oversight. Shared responsibility across HR, legal, IT, and compliance. Regular review cycles to update policies as tools and regulations evolve. As for your action list, you move from risk avoidance to responsible enablement, demonstrated by reviewing HR policies and identifying where AI-specific guidance is missing. Clarifying who owns AI oversight across HR, legal, IT, and compliance. Schedule a recurring review to reassess tools, risks, and policy updates. How does the two leaders compare under governance? Leader A struggles because of allowing AI use to expand without guardrails. Policies are generic and not tailored to HR decisions. Questions about fairness or transparency trigger reactive responses, weakening trust. Whilst Leader B gets it right, because of anchoring AI use in fairness, transparency, and accountability. HR-specific policies are clear, risks are assessed early, and oversight is shared cross-functionally. Adoption grows because trust grows. In the technology pillar, you equip the organization with scalable systems, quality data, and integrated tools that power AI-driven decision-making. And what does readiness looks like under the technology pillar? Clean, structured data accessible across HR systems. Tools aligned to high-value AI use cases. Scalable infrastructure that supports safe, repeatable AI use. Strong HR IT collaboration. So, what your action be? You move from disconnected tools to AI-enabled operations. Demonstrated by auditing where critical HR data lives. Identify quality or structure access gaps. Standardize key data fields before expanding AI use. Rationalize AI tools to remove duplicates and align to priority use cases. Establish a regular HR IT sync to review data and infrastructure. How the two leaders compare. Leader A struggles. Pushing AI without addressing fragmented systems. Data is inconsistent and difficult to access, so outputs vary. IT stays in reactive mode, limiting business impact. Leader B gets it right by partnering closely with IT to improve data quality and accessibility. Aligns tools to priority use cases and builds infrastructure for safe, repeatable use. AI insights become reliable inputs to decisions. People. Cultivate a learning culture where employees and leaders confidently experiment with and embrace AI. What readiness looks like. Leaders who consistently champion AI's value. HR teams applying AI confidently in day-to-day work, early adopters who model responsible usage, open dialogue about concerns, risks, and opportunities. Your action list, from awareness to advocacy. Encourage HR teams to apply AI in everyday workflows, not just special projects. Identify early adopters and showcase their responsible use as internal role models. Create open forums to discuss AI concerns, risks, and opportunities regularly. Comparing the two leaders. Leader A struggles, assumes access equals adoption. Leaders rarely model AI use, so teams interpret it as optional or risky. Concerns remain unspoken and adoption is uneven. And leader B gets it right. Champions RA's value and connects it to our strategic role. Early adopters share responsible practices and dialogue about risks is encouraged. AI becomes a shared capability. Skills. AI readiness is not just about having tools. It is about having people who know how to use those tools well, question the outputs, and apply them responsibly. One-off training is not enough because AI keeps changing. HR teams need ongoing learning, simple skills pathways, and regular practice. Ethics should also be part of the training, so people know not just how to use AI, but how to use it safely and responsibly. In short, the aim is to move from basic tool awareness to real confidence and fluency. Here, I would pause and ask you which area you think matters most for their team right now: strategy, governance, technology, people, or skills. The purpose of this question is to help you reflect on where their biggest readiness gap is. It also helps shift the conversation from theory to action by getting people to identify their most urgent priorities. Up to this point, we have explored what AI readiness means. Now we move into the practical part: what teams can actually do next. This section is about turning ideas into steps, so people leave with a clearer sense of action. The first step is to measure your current AI readiness across the 5 pillars. Before trying to improve, you need to understand where you are today. That means looking at your strengths, your weak spots, and the areas holding your team back. A readiness assessment gives you a starting point and helps avoid guessing. So the message here is, assess first, then act. The second step is to create focus using your own AI readiness radar. Once you have assessed the team, you can see which areas need the most attention. Not every pillar will need the same level of effort, so this step helps you decide what to prioritize. The key message is that focus matters. If you try to fix everything at once, progress becomes scattered. A radar helps you concentrate energy where it will make the biggest difference. The third step is to define actions based on your focus areas. After measuring and prioritizing, the next move is to turn findings into practical actions for each pillar. This is where readiness becomes a roadmap. Instead of vague ambition, you now have specific steps linked to strategy, governance, technology, people, and skills. So this slide is really saying, diagnose, focus, then act. Now, click on the link below to access your readiness test. Defining a practical roadmap. This slide brings the whole framework together in one view. For strategy, the focus is clarity. Define the purpose for AI and choose a few high-impact use cases. For governance, the focus is trust. Create HR-specific rules, define risk processes, and make ownership clear. For technology, the focus is foundation. Improve data quality, align tools to business priorities, and work closely with IT. For people, the focus is culture. Leaders should champion AI, encourage good practice, and create space for open discussion. For skills, the focus is capability. Build learning pathways, include responsible AI, and create regular chances to practice. This is the slide that shows how to move from awareness into an actual plan. What excites you most about using AI within your HR team? This is another audience engagement slide. At this point, I would invite people to think positively about the opportunities. The purpose is to shift from challenge-focused thinking into possibility-focused thinking. It helps the audience connect AI to their own context, whether that is speed, efficiency, better decisions, better employee support, or stronger strategic impact. Build AI fluency as a core competency. This slide makes the case that AI fluency should become a core HR capability. AI fluency sits alongside other important capabilities like business acumen, data literacy, digital agility, people advocacy, execution excellence, specialist skills, and leadership skills. Being AI fluent means understanding AI, using it confidently, promoting responsible use, helping adoption, and integrating it into daily work. The main point is that AI should not be seen as a specialist extra for a few people. It should become part of how modern HR works. This is what helps HR move from occasional AI use to confident, responsible everyday use. Here I would thank you, invite questions, and encourage you to reflect on your team's readiness. The goal is not just to adopt AI, but to build the readiness that makes AI useful, trusted, and sustainable in HR.